Our favorite show gets it right. It's the last Tuesday of the month, so come join us for game night. This is where the mind meets the magic. We dive a little deeper every time. Theme parks, cruise ships, and travel. If you don't listen, it's a crime. Game night is not just for us. We want you to join in too. So put your comments in the chat and show us what you can do. Mousekast podcast is diving in. Join us Tuesday nights for our live show. When hosts let the mind meets the magic, you find out what you need to know.
Hello and welcome to Mousekast, the podcast where the mind meets the magic. Hey, we have come to the final Tuesday in April. You all know what that means. It's game night tonight. This is episode 70 of Mousekast, and it is game night. And in honor, did anybody watch the NFL draft that was over the weekend? And, you know, we had some interesting things and a lot of talk about Shedeur Sanders finally being drafted in round 56 or whatever it was there. But for tonight, we're going to turn it over to Matt, who had a great idea for tonight. Matt, take it away on game night.
All right. So with the NFL draft being this past weekend, what we're going to do tonight for something a little different is we're actually going to do some drafts of our own. It'll be on various topics, and we'll go around. We'll do a few rounds each. I think it's going to be 3 or 4 depending on the topic. So if everybody's ready, I'm going to jump right into it. So the first topic we're going to do.
Look at that magic mute button. We're going to have people that are able to chime in and comment as well, like with suggesting their own answers to these.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah, so if you are watching right now, as Matt gives the topic, because there's going to be different teams, quote unquote, that we are drafting for, send us your draft. And guess what? You have unlimited money and whatever you want to do your draft pick. So if you're watching along, be sure to let us know your draft.
Draft. You're giving me unlimited cash. I'm out of here.
And if you think somebody's crazy,
no, there's a cap on Hawk.
And if you think somebody's crazy for making a certain pick, feel free to let us know as well. So, all right. So the first one I'm going to start off with is Disney snacks. So we have a relative who's going to Disney for the first time. They're going to all 4 parks, and what we're going to do is we are going to suggest a snack from each of the 4 parks.
Ooh.
So
wow, this just got a little more challenging.
Yeah,
kind of, put your thinking caps on. It's not just like you can run over to Magic Kingdom and grab, 4 different snacks. We're going to kind of go all over the place. So,
and we have the freedom to go a little outside the box if we want to here. Do we have, this is our draft, right?
It's your draft as long as it's, it's more, as long as it kind of qualifies more of a snack. You can't go out and grab a filet mignon or something like that, Hawk. We're kind of sticking to, something grab and go.
I'm going to tell you right now, sometimes a filet mignon is just a snack.
Well, it's very true. But, all right. So we will start with Megan. We'll start ladies first.
Okay.
Well, first of all, where are we? You said each park.
Okay. Well, let's start over in Animal Kingdom.
All right.
Oh, Animal Kingdom. You know what? I don't even know what they're called. The Mr. Kumal's fries. There's a fry basket over there. That's what I'm going for at Animal Kingdom. I'm going savory at Animal Kingdom.
That's actually something I haven't had yet. Everybody seems to rave about it, and it's on my to-try list.
I will say I think it's one of those that is very specific because they do have a seasoning on them, and I think some people are not a big fan. So it's not it's not a universally loved thing. But
where do you get them, Megan?
There's a fry stand back at the very back of the park. It's not too far from Everest. I can picture, but I can't even remember where it's near some bathrooms too. Not that we really want to think about bathrooms and food at the same point, but that's it's somewhat near Everest back there. It's just a truck, and that's the main seller there. It's a little snack cart.
Okay.
Delicious. Highly recommend.
All right, so we'll go age before beauty. So we'll go with Chuck next.
All right, well, there we go. Okay, so this is a Hawk, man. This is a snack that technically you can find in more than one park, but because it's an Animal Kingdom, I'm going to let it. I'm going to pull it here because I'll have a different snack for a different park. We are heading over to the Yak and Yeti. No, not the restaurant. Yak and Yeti's Quality Beverages, which is the over kind of like in the lounge area side of Yak and Yeti. And I think even the quick service side of it might have these as well. These are the pork egg rolls over at Yak and Yeti, and they are. If you've ever had the egg rolls over, there's also an egg roll cart over in Adventureland in the Magic Kingdom. They are just. I mean, I don't know what they do over there. It's kind of like popcorn. You know, it's just an egg roll, folks, but. Just like it's popcorn, but it's just better because it's Disney, and I don't know what they do to it, but they are really, really good egg rolls. It comes in a pack of two thing, but I mean you could hammer a 6-pack of those and not even think twice about it. So I'm over at AK. I'm heading over to Yak and Yeti, and I'm grabbing me some egg rolls.
Okay.
All right, it sounds good. All right, what do you got for us, Hawk?
All right. So me personally, I'm with Megan on this. I'm going French fries, but I'm going to Flame Tree, and I'm getting the pulled pork French fries. And like to me, you know, that's why I was kind of saying, like, is this a snack or like the quick service, like grab a little meal? Because either the pulled pork mac and cheese or the pulled pork French fries, either one is magically delicious. And honestly, on Sunday afternoons when Jen and I head over, we often get an order of each and then just kind of share them. But they are absolutely amazing. So I'm definitely hitting up my, advance ordering, my mobile ordering, and walking up to the window and my food's ready. And we also, just a quick little side note, a lot of people don't take the time to walk all the way down to the back of the dining area at Flame Tree. And you can sit undercover down at the water, way in the back. It's a great view of Everest and everything going on, but also the characters on the boats that float by, the musicians that come by. You're right there. They come right in front of you. It's a nice little interaction you can spend with your family. So not only do I enjoy the snack, but I enjoy the location that Flame Tree offers the opportunity to sit at. And it's almost always fairly quiet way down in the back. So it's a beautiful place to go down and enjoy.
Yeah, we love going down there, especially with the two little kids. They can kind of watch the characters go by.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it is quieter. It tends to be less people, minus the birds that are walking around. But hey, it's another character interaction if you.
And what snack do you bring down there, Matt?
So I'm actually going over to Yak and Yeti with Chuck, and I'm getting I don't know if it's a snack portion or what it is, but the chicken fried rice.
I was almost going to do that too, but I decided to go with the egg roll. And Tom Brewer says he's going to Little Red over at Animal Kingdom. Hey, Tom, put in the chat tell me why you love that so much. Yeah, I'm with you though. The chicken fried rice.
Yeah, my wife and I tried it for the first time. Our quick trip there, and it was really good. So I'm definitely heading over back there again the next time I go to Animal Kingdom.
I think Yak and Yeti is a very underrated restaurant. I think it's definitely gained popularity over the last couple of years because it's kind of the secret has got out, so to speak.
Yeah, it's become a hard ADR to get now.
Yeah, but that Landers card pays off if you have one.
It does. Yeah,
you can just walk in, no reservation needed.
But those snacks over at Animal Kingdom, they're all really good.
It's a great
again,
snack.
this is another thing about Animal Kingdom, folks. It's not a half-day park, and it is not a park that you slouch on the food. I'll argue, some will disagree with me, food at Animal Kingdom is better than food at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, no, nobody's disagreeing with you. Nobody's disagreeing with you. I don't know anyone that would disagree with that, and I'm being honest there. They really do a great job with food, and I think the cultural cuisine that gets offered in some of those restaurants is just absolutely phenomenal because it is different enough that it's not like anywhere else at Disney World. Whether you're at the lodge or the park, the offerings there are just absolutely amazing. So it's a really nice change from everywhere else, so to speak. But you can still get the simplified stuff for the kids that you can get everywhere else. All right, what's up?
Yeah,
What's
true.
what's
Okay.
up next, big guy?
So speaking of Hollywood Studios, that's where we're heading next. Is going to be Hollywood Studios.
I
So
had
we'll
a
go back
feeling.
over
Let's get it
to-
out of the way.
So we'll go back over to Megan. Megan, what do you got for us?
Okay, I went Savory and Animal Kingdom. I'm going to swing the absolute opposite direction and go with one of the sweetest things you can get in the park, and that is that carrot cake cookie that has the icing, the cream cheese icing in the middle. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I actually have managed to refrain from getting it the last couple times I've gone because I will eat that whole thing and then feel sick for the rest of the day.
Now it's back because it did go away for a while, but it is
did.
back now.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
back.
it's at
Where do they have it now? Because they move it around every
Yeah,
once in a
I think Matt's right. It's over at Starbucks now.
Yeah,
It's
Of
at
all
Starbucks.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
while. Oh, yeah, I won't share that thing, but it'll make me sick if I eat the whole thing. So
It's my wife's nice
It
favorite
is
snack
worth
over at
it.
Hollywood Studios. So,
It is good.
all right, Chuck, what do you got?
I'm going to stretch the bounds here of snack just a hair. I'm going with a big snack. And the reason I say that is because, again, Hollywood Studios dining is a little tough. So some of this is a bit snacky, and it's a big snack. I'm heading over to Fairfax Fair. Hawk knows exactly where I'm heading here. I'm going and getting me some Korean barbecued pork belly. It's the Korean barbecue pork belly bowl, and it was so wonderful. Hawk actually turned me on to this when we were last down, and he and I got together and said, "Trust me, go down here." And I tried this, and it's again barbecue pork belly on with some greens and mashed potatoes and a waffle bowl, and oh man, and it's good.
You have a couple of varieties in there. You can get
Yeah, there
buffalo
are.
chicken. There's a couple other processes that you can do, but it's a mashed potato bowl in a waffle bowl, and
Yeah.
it is like a waffle cone, and it
Yeah.
is so magically delicious.
It is so good. I will go with Tom as well. That the grapefruit cake over at Hollywood Studios over at the Brown Derby is pretty good too. That's legendary.
I have made that one at home, and it's very good made at home as well. If
Yeah,
you've got
no,
into
but,
those Disney
Their
cookbooks.
chocolate cake doesn't suck either, by the way. Their chocolate cake is amazing.
I know. We just said, folks, that food at Hollywood Studios isn't great, and here we're now lauding food. But these are
Well,
the
we're talking about dessert. Well, not really dessert for your pork belly, but
yeah. But I mean, these are snacks. I mean, snackish kind of things that you could do. So all
I'm
right.
actually going to another planet. I'm going to go over to Batu, and I'm going inside Oga's Cantina, and the new rolls, the new sourdough bread or whatever that roll is that they're serving. I forget what they call it, but it is amazing. It is so good. Jen and I went in and tried it again the other night, and it's the second time we've had it. And I was like, man, I loved it so much the first time. I hope it wasn't just a fluke. And it came out, and it was not. It was absolutely delicious at Oga's. So some of the food that's offered there, they've finally upgraded and improved and made some of those little offerings a lot better. I think in the beginning they were trying to go so extreme with food options to make it so off planet that it was kind of outside the norms, and it took a very very adventurous taste bud to be able to find pleasure in some of the food offering.
Now, are you talking about the Thruster roasted bantha flatbread or the umbari cheese roll? The one of them's
No,
pretzel.
the cheese roll, that's what it is.
The
Umbari
Umbaran cheese roll. I'm
Yes.
sitting there reading it off the
Yep.
spice dusted pretzel bun stuffed with herb cheese and a dipping sauce. Okay,
Oh.
this is new since I've been to Oga's, and this sounds
Oh.
good.
So good. I'm just telling you, the order is only one of them, and they're fairly large. Jen and I split it. If you're really looking for a snack, it is something you could have individually, definitely. So if you have a couple of people, you may want to order more than one, but it was amazing. Highly recommend that at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that does sound pretty awesome. All right, Matt, I knew this show was going to make us all really hungry. All right, so what's your snack at Hollywood Studios?
So I'm actually going over to Toy Story Land. I'm getting a Pop-Tart, kind of a bigger scale, and they're absolutely delicious. Something a little different. It's light, especially if you're going to go on Alien Saucers or hop on Slinky Dog. So, it's split it with the kids. So that's the route I'm going with. I think they also have is it the what they call potato barrels? I think they have an option over there as well for that. It's been a little while since I've been in that lane, but I'm going with the Pop Tart.
Ooh, all of them are good. I've had several, and they're all. I think the lemon blueberry is probably my favorite. I like the tart with my
Yeah.
sweet, and that lemon blueberry. It's really good.
All right. So where do we head next, buddy?
Yes, I'll say.
So we're gonna head over to let's go to Magic Kingdom for this one. We'll end in Epcot, just because it's a
Alrighty.
bigger food
Okay.
place. So
We'll
All
save
right.
the best food park for last.
exactly. So all right, Megan, you're up.
I'm getting my funnel cake from Sleepy Hollow. It's my number one snack.
I wondered when this would come up.
Mm-hmm. My go-to, gotta have it. I don't even love funnel cake all that much, but I'm sure it's just the same as it is over at the American Pavilion in Epcot. But there's something about Sleepy Hollow. I just love that whole place.
Yeah, I love something else over there. I don't know if anybody else will take it, but we'll go over to Chuck and see what he's got for us.
Well, much as it would be interesting to say the turkey leg, no, I'm not. I'm not going there. But
The
I am.
emu leg?
Yeah, really. Yeah, the emu leg. I am heading over to Mexico, and I am actually not. I'm. It's a snack that again is another one of these that's big. I mean, it's technically a snack, but
You're
it's
going to
huge.
Mexico and Magic Kingdom?
Oh no, we're in Magic Kingdom. Sorry, that's right. I'm in Epcot first. No, Magic Kingdom.
You are
Okay,
so
sorry.
an Epcot head. You can't
I
even
am
get
an
away
Epcot
from
head.
it when you're told to.
I am an Epcot head. Sorry, I am such an Epcot. It was Matt threw me off because he was talking about the getting it over in the American Pavilion. Megan threw me off there. No, sorry, Magic Kingdom. I'm going with the old favorite. I'm going with the number one. I'm going with the absolute must required. You must get it every time. Well, at least once, and I recommend every time. Ladies and gentlemen, the best snack ever known to mankind. It is, of course, the one and only truly famous Dole Whip. You have to get a Dole Whip in the Magic Kingdom. Absolutely, hands down, must get a Dole Whip. Sorry, love Dole Whips. Love Dole Whips.
Okay.
Really?
The
Fuck
classic
doesn't look
one?
sold either.
Really? The Dole Whip. It's a Dole
I like the flavored ones. They come out with the different with the dwarf cones and the different
Yeah.
flavors with some of those.
The orange one at Aloha Isle.
Orange one's really good
I like
too.
the
Yeah.
lime.
That orange
Yeah,
one.
and see, I love that. It's the different flavors thing. You know, I do like the classic. I love pineapple, but lime also. I mean, I
So
like me
that's-
some lime too.
That's not where I'd go. So, Chuck, I will not bump into you waiting in line over there to get your Dole Whip. But that's okay.
It's okay. That means more for me.
At Magic Kingdom, believe it or not, I'm going to the confectionery, and they're not doing as many as they used to now, and they've changed their menu, which was heartbreaking to Jen and I. But they used to have a beverage in there called the Cold Coction that was a frozen slushy drink, and it came with gummy lifesavers on the straw, and it was a mix of a couple different flavors. But they had 3 different ones, and Jen and I enjoyed all of them, all the different flavors of those drinks. And it's a hidden gem. You also at Disney don't get your pass holder discount on most quick service locations. But because the confectionery is actually a store, you get your discount when you buy treats there. So just another little tidbit. If you're looking for a frozen cold drink, get it in one of the stores and you can still get that discount. So the confectionery will give you an annual pass discount, and the drinks are amazing. They are a sugar rush from crazy levels that, peak up us 50-year-old plus people that are running out of energy, running around the park. But they give us a little zoom for a minute.
Speak for yourself,
and then
buddy.
we crash on the boat ride back to Wilderness Lodge to pick up our ride. But yes, that is our place. We love the confectionery and the frozen slushies and the varieties, and they do seasonal ones as well. So they sometimes have special drinks being offered throughout different times that you can enjoy as well in there.
I kind of thought you were going for like one of the apples over there because their apples are amazing too. But that's a different story.
I don't eat fruits or vegetables, Chuck.
Okay, so Hawk can't really talk about anything here because he doesn't eat fruits and vegetables. I mean, there you go. That's why he doesn't like the Dole Whip, folks. He doesn't like his fruits, even if they are frozen.
Nah, true story. All right, man, what you got?
Yeah, as I say, Matt.
All right,
Save
so
us.
I'm staying at the confectionery, and I'm going towards the back
Popcorn.
for the popcorn bucket. You put
Yeah,
There we
all
go.
my man right there.
My wife and I just found this for the first time our last trip, and it is fantastic. You can kind of create your own between different sauces, different candies, and if you like Disney popcorn, this kind of takes it to a whole new level. So I highly recommend going and making your own little popcorn bowl, if you want to call it that.
I would have gone with you on this. I would have prior
But you've been
to
going to Tokyo.
exactly
Prior
prior
to
to
Mexico, right, Chuck?
2020 whatever it was 3 I think it was that I went to Tokyo Disneyland. Popcorn at Tokyo Disneyland, Magic Kingdom is kiddie level stuff. I mean, what they have there, if they brought that popcorn to any of the parks and spread them out like they do over at Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo DCC, if they brought that, a lot of my snacks would change, and it would be popcorn. And oh, by the way, did I mention the popcorn? I mean, some of those popcorns are unreal good. But yeah, so far you can only get them in Japan.
I am noticing that we have only heard from Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios for Mr. Tom.
Yeah, Tom, you got to tell us what's going on for MK and Epcot, buddy.
MK answer. I need that MK snack from Tom to complete the trifecta here as we move on to the last place, which will be Epcot, correct?
Cool.
Or are we going to do Typhoon Lagoon?
No.
No, I'm just
we're 4 major parks only. If we really want to, we go to Disney Springs. We can go to the water parks. I mean, you can kind of go all the different resorts.
Oh Lord, if you open up
Parks
Disney
for this
Springs,
one.
that's going to be a whole different ballgame.
This will be a 7-part series, folks. Please tune in next week.
Yeah, really.
All right, so we'll start this last round with Megan.
Oh, this one. Well, I've been sitting here racking my brain trying to pick just one thing that, if I could eat just one thing in Epcot. Oh my gosh. Oh.
While we're doing that, see, Tom listens to reason. He says, the only things I insist on getting at the Magic Kingdom is the Dole Whip. Testify, Tom. You are so correct. It is the Dole Whip.
The Dole Whip comes best in the citrus swirl, which has a little bit of vanilla soft serve with it. I don't love Dole Whip by itself, but together with the soft serve, I'm all in on. So at Epcot, for me, what it comes down to is I think right now it's the gingerbread cookie at the German bakery. Although that cookie does get cycled out and different things have come through there, there's always something really good there. Or, take your pick from the French cafe, whose the name is, escaping me, of course, at this moment. Just
the Boulangerie Patisserie.
There we go. That's the one. I think I'm gonna go with that cookie in the Germany bakery. But man, so many things to choose from at Epcot.
Yeah, Epcot's a tough park for this because, as they say, there's almost stealing Alton Brown line. There's some good eats.
We rarely eat full
Epcot.
meals at Epcot anymore. We just snack our way through the park.
Well, and especially with, and this is, I'm not intentionally pulling any of the snacks or the small plates from Food and Wine or Flower and Garden, or any of the Festival of the Arts. I mean, there's it seems like there always is something going on, just because they're so amazing. But I'm trying to keep to what's consistent all year round. All right, so I guess it's me next.
It's up to you, Chuck.
All right, yeah. So now I am going to Mexico. I was trying to go earlier. Now I am going to Mexico. I'm getting me those nachos. If you have not had the nachos over at the cantina over in Mexico, I mean, they're dang good nachos, and it's huge. I mean, it's a thing of nachos. This is like this big and loaded with beef, toppings, cheese, and all this other goodness. As I said, I guess it's technically a snack, but really it's almost a meal. I mean, it's that big of a snack. So yeah, I'm getting me a big old honking thing of nachos.
All right, Hawk, we're going to go over to you for this one.
All right, so I have a couple different responses on this because, to Chuck's point, if it's in festival, I'm getting the French fry flight
He's so
But-
excited he can't even talk.
I love that thing. The French fry flight out in front of test track is absolutely delicious. The sweet potato dessert style French fries, the barbecue, the Cajun spice, like they've got it all. I mean, come on, you're talking absolute amazement. So that is my go-to during festival time. Now, if I have to pick my regular snack at Epcot that is always there, I'm going over to the America Pavilion and I'm getting the American Dream frozen slushy, and I am living the dream because
I thought he was going for the turkey leg for a second there, folks.
no emu leg, but the American Dream, like Jen and I love. I mean, living here, we're often in the parks in July or August, or we're walking around on very hot days, and we live here. We're used to it, but there's still a just certain awesome ability to enjoy a frozen drink because we don't drink alcohol. So getting those frozen slushies and just cooling off and enjoying a nice beverage, the American Dream at Epcot is my go-to snack. So, Matt, what about you at Epcot?
Yep, Matt, finish us off.
Ooh, yeah. If it was festival time, I'm going with the cheese bread from Brazil. That is my wife and I's like favorite snack. Every time we go
Delicious.
there, it's festival time. We're going right there, especially if it's fresh or hot. At least it's hard to beat. So non-festival time, I think I'm going to go a drink as well, and I'm going with the Viking coffee.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that is, if you're waiting in
Good
line for
choice.
Frozen and it doesn't seem like it's really moving, that'll help move that line along or make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going with that. We actually convinced some people the last time that it was worth getting, and they went and got one, and they absolutely loved it. So,
All right. So here's my question, because Tom doesn't have one at Epcot because Tom doesn't snack late night at Epcot. Tom, I think you should cheat on the diet a little bit and snack when you're at Epcot because you're missing out.
Yeah,
You
I
are
was just say,
definitely
you need
missing
to
out.
grab you some snacks, buddy.
But here's my question. One word answer out of these things we just discussed. Who was your number one draft pick? So Matt, who was your number one of those 4 snacks you just named? Who's your number one?
oh man, I didn't even take my favorite snack actually, but I took something a little different. So I'm gonna go with the popcorn bucket over at Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
That was out of all the picks. I'm going that route.
That's your number one. Megan, what's your number one draft pick?
I'm going to go with my German cookie.
Okay. Chuck, number one.
Tom just said it. I have to agree with him. It's Dole Whip. I mean, it is. There's a reason it's the number one snack in all of Walt Disney World.
It's pulled pork French fries. Come on now. Come on now. You got to get that barbecue on. So,
All righty.
yeah, all right. So what's
So
the
Matt,
next one,
it's time to change teams. We've drafted for Team Snack. What's next?
All right. So we're gonna change it up a little bit, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the 4-round format going. In this scenario, we're gonna be doing Disney rides, but there's a catch to this. So we're still gonna
Okay.
do one from each park, but we're doing no roller coasters. Okay. So
Love it.
So we're gonna take some thrill rides out of this for a lot of people, and we're gonna kind of simmer it down a little bit for us folks
Oh, God.
that don't enjoy roller coasters.
No coasters. Wow, no coasters. That actually is
All
going to
right.
make it interesting.
All right. So
All
when
righty.
are you starting?
So we'll start with Megan again.
What
We'll
park?
start over. Let's go in reverse. We'll start at Epcot.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going my sentimental favorite. I'm going Three Caballeros. I'll ride that thing over and over. I love that ride. So underrated. Very little line usually. My kids beg to ride it over and over again, and I'm just like, oh yeah, sure, we'll go look for Donald. Sign me up. Love
I'm
it.
pretty sure when we were down there, Chuck, the line was out to the almost.
Yeah, it was.
It was
And,
up the
yeah, Three
door.
Cabs, especially since they've done the renovation and updated the characters and the projections now. It's pretty popular again.
All right, Chuck. Where you going?
Alrighty, so this one's very simple. Fasten your seatbelts. Soaring to tower. We are ready for takeoff. We are heading to Soarin'. Love Soarin'. Love the music. To be honest, I wish that we would see both Soarins. On one day we have Soarin' over California and that original soundtrack, and then the next time you have Soarin' around the world, or maybe even with the three, Concourse A, B, and C. Concourse A is the original, and B and C are the other, or something like that. But we are heading to Soarin'.
All right, I'm never done. So that sounds.
Oh, you need to get on Soarin'.
You have to do Soarin'.
Oh, you have to do Soarin', and I have to, to tell the great story of Soarin'. Of the original. There is a golf ball that is hit at you with a great hidden Mickey on it, by the way. And a cast member one time showed me, and he had these little plastic golf balls he kept in a bag, and he had the dads with the kids, and he snuck me the golf ball. He said, "Here, you can catch the golf ball." And we did that every time. And then eventually, as my boys got older, then eventually I started letting, it's almost like the secret of Santa Claus. I let them in on it, and they would start catching the golf ball. We don't have that same thing in the new attraction, the new version, but I do miss that from the original. So Soarin'.
Matt, if it's a heights thing, because it is for me, like I don't love the takeoff for Soarin' because I do not do heights, but it's just so good. Oh, I just love it, and the music. Oh.
So
and I'll tell you what. So Tom says Spaceship Earth. It's required riding. Tom, I'm right there with you. You say Soarin' would be second. For me, I'm flipping that. It's Soarin' number one, and Spaceship Earth is actually number two. So, and hello, CLD 7991. Welcome to Mousekast. Glad to have you with us.
I believe I
funny
know
story
who
about
that
Soarin'.
is.
I actually walked all the way through. I actually sat down on the ride. I looked up, and that was a mistake, and I manually went for the exit. So that's how much me and heights get along. So, all right, Hawk. What do you got?
All right. So it's not because Chuck said Soarin'. I'm not going to take Soaring on that one. I'm not going to take Soarin'. But I don't consider it a roller coaster, but you probably will. So I don't know if I can take this one either, because I don't really consider Test Track a roller coaster.
No, Test Track is absolutely not a roller coaster.
No.
Okay, so that I'm going to go with Test Track, and the reason why I'm actually looking forward to the reboot right now. It needed a change. It needed some new stuff. I'm anxious to see what they do. I haven't been overwhelmed by what I've seen, to be honest, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because I think Disney does really great job surprising you with things that you think might be a little plain or ordinary. So I'm very much looking forward to the rebooted Test Track. And I think that would be the ride I would go to if I was not doing a roller coaster.
Looks like Hawk has the need for speed.
Yes, sir.
And late summer. In fact, I just checked it real quick, and we don't have a definitive date yet, other than apparently late summer still.
Right.
So
and Chris, who's just joining us.
Oh, hey Chris, how are you? Welcome.
So he knows we're doing a NFL draft style choice of the only thing that the Test Track tests is my ability to stay.
I'm going after Hawk.
Yeah, Tom and Hawk.
Tom loves to go after me. That's okay. Tom and I are tight, though.
That's why Tom's my buddy.
Got this love-hate thing going on.
That's
We're
right.
good. I still have mad respect for Tom.
Yep.
So, and I know most times we don't have to wait in the same line. So that's a beautiful thing. Like it's one less person I have to wait on. So, it works out, Tom. We're good on this. But Chris, we're doing an NFL style draft of our favorite rides that are not roller coasters in all four parks. So, I'm curious what Chris's thoughts would be on his favorite ride at Epcot, which is what we're currently doing, that is not a roller coaster. And you can throw that in the chat for us. But Matt, what about you? What would your choice be?
So Tom was right. Mine was originally Spaceship Earth, but I'm going to do something different since it was already mentioned, and I'm going over and doing Ratatouille. I love
Okay.
that.
A very popular
It's
attraction.
a really
Yeah.
good ride. Actually, I have a funny story. So this last trip we went on it, my wife and I did the single rider line, and we got split up, which we're like, okay, fine, get through it. So I ended up sitting next to a couple, and the guy was telling me he was on Ratatouille when it first opened up, and one of the scenes, it froze. So he got to go, or excuse me, it was the cork popping scene, and it kept on it kept on skipping in that same for like 7 or 8 cycles, and then it either froze or then it finally continued. So they ended up giving him basically just hop back in line, write it again, no problem. So I was sitting next to him, and we got to that same scene, and sure enough, it started skipping a little bit, and then it just froze, and then it just moved us along. And one of the hardest laughs I've had at Disney. We literally got out of the ride, and he was just like, "I'm so sorry." I'm just like, you know what? It was bound to happen because you mentioned mentioned the story to me. So I'm going to go with Ratatouille over in Epcot.
Okay.
That
Where are we
sounds
going
very
next?
good. Yep,
I
which
can
part?
ride Guardians all day long. Ratatouille makes me sick. So Ratatouille would be a roller coaster in my book. Can't do it.
All right.
So where do we head next, Matt?
We're going to go over to Magic Kingdom.
Same principle. No roller coasters for all parks, right?
Correct.
Okay.
We'll go back over and start with Megan.
Haunted Mansion, hands down, easy. If you're gonna give me one ride in all of Magic Kingdom to ride, even if you added in the roller coasters, I'm still going to Haunted Mansion. Classic Disney, complete immersion. I don't complain when that one stops, and it also has been known to stop. But man, it's just great. That song gets stuck in your head. I love that.
Yeah, not when you're right in front of the bride for 15 minutes and you just, all you get is like this for 15 minutes. I had that happen to me one time.
She's not nearly as scary as she was back in the 90s. In
No,
the
no,
90s,
I
before they
agree.
did the face and the technology, she was terrified. I was terrified of her as a child. So scary.
Speaking of Epcot, real quick, Chris says, depending on the day, he's either doing Spaceship Earth or Soarin', but it looks like he's probably going Spaceship Earth. There we go. Yeah, and Tom says Haunted Mansion is the ultimate ride, favorite ride of any theme park. High praise for Haunted Mansion from Tom.
Such a classic.
Tom loving everybody but me.
All right, Chuck, what are you riding?
So we're over here at MK, and I agree, Haunted Mansion would be definitely up there, although since it's been mentioned, like others, I will go somewhere else. A little bit different, and I'm actually interested to see what the new iteration will be of Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. I have managed to max out. I routinely will max out on one of the two sides. If I happen to be in a attraction by myself, I've done it once with a help from a stop, and I've come close to doing it once without the attraction stopping or anything like that and maxing out both sides. But I am interested to see what the changes will be with the new updates that are coming for Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. And can you be a galactic hero?
It's the one thing I haven't done yet is max that out. So every time I've tried recently, my daughter grabs the control stick and just spinning us around. So I'm hoping,
That definitely does make it tricky. I'll be the first to admit that it never happened when my daughter was young either. Because if she had that stick, forget it.
Forget it. That's the hardest part about it. It's not the aim; it's keeping the car steady.
Yeah, it was like the Wild West with her. It was like you going everywhere. So I'm with you, Matt. That's not your fault at all.
As long as she was having fun, that's all I cared about. It was
Exactly.
That was what my.
And
go ahead, just go for it, honey. You gonna come over here? Okay, we're gonna go backwards now. Go for it.
And Tom, listen, I know you'd love to agree with me, but there's no way in heck I'm going with the Carousel of Progress.
Tom, we're gonna make a date. I'm gonna find a time where you and
I'm napping right through that big beautiful tomorrow.
Tom, you and I are going to do a road trip from Roanoke, Virginia, and we're going to kidnap Hawk, and we're going to put him on Carousel of Progress and make him ride it all day long. We're going to do that.
There better be large amounts of cash involved in that, because that's the only way I'm sitting on that. However, it is nostalgic and has an amazing story, and I love what it represents. I truly do. And I've done the experience, but doing it once was enough for me. All right. So
Hey, look at Chris. Chris says if it's hot, he's doing the people mover. There
he
you
just
go.
stole my thunder.
Oh,
See, Chris just stole my thunder but that's
Traded
okay
up and took your draft pick.
because Chris knows me. So I would say my favorite, if I'm not doing roller coasters, because I am a roller coaster junkie and would do the coasters all day long. But if I'm not gonna, I love People Mover because it does give you enough time to experience the park. The wait is always very reasonable. It's never a real long wait. Does break down on occasion. You get stuck on there. Good time to catch that nap without being forced to hear the big, beautiful Tomorrow song. So you can still get a nap on a ride. But just the way that ride is, it presents the park in a different viewpoint that you can really, truly enjoy. And if you get the opportunity to ride it right at sunset or during the fireworks, you can get some really great feel for the energy in the park, just the beauty, the architectural design and everything else. And I think that is a ride that was obviously intended to promote some of that, but it's kind of a secondary thought as you get on it, and you're pleasantly surprised when you get to experience the views that come out of the People Mover. So definitely enjoy the People Mover.
Yeah, and Chris says his favorite part is where they show Walt Disney's original version of Epcot, Progress City. And I'm totally with you. That is my absolute favorite part of going to the People Mover. And almost that's another one of those places where you almost you have to say thank you, Walt, as you go by.
Okay.
All right, Matt.
All right, I was say,
Yeah,
Matt, I
okay.
think you're wrapping it up for the Magic Kingdom.
Okay, so I was gonna go with People Mover. That's my all-time favorite Disney ride. Is the People Mover. Just like Hawk said, the views and everything. We actually did it one of the first times a couple trips ago at night with the fireworks, and it was completely different. Rather than standing in a crowd of people, we did the People Mover. We actually saw the fireworks right in Dumbo for the first time, and that was something completely different that my daughter just loved. She just watching her expression was fantastic.
What was that again?
So just the jaw dropping, just like in amazement. So it was totally worth it. So I'm gonna go over to the Jungle Cruise. The corny jokes, it's fantastic. It's a nice, simple ride. You get to see, the backside of water. Everybody's favorite
O2H,
site,
O2H.
O2H. So that's one of my.
And I'll tell you,
favorites.
it's also awesome during the holidays because they do change up the script, and so the Jingle Cruise, right? So that is one of the few attractions in the Magic Kingdom that does do a holiday overlay over in the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. Unlike Disneyland, that has many changes for the holidays, very few attractions over in the Magic Kingdom.
And it's one of the
Yeah.
one of the holiday overlays that you don't have to be exclusively at a party for as well. The overlay exists all the time, so you get to enjoy that overlay anytime you're visiting the Magic Kingdom during that time of the year. So that is a nice thing that some of the parks offer the additional overlays, but they're generally during the private events or parties that are additional admission. Matt, where are we going next? Studios?
We're going over to Hollywood Studios and back
Okay.
over to Megan.
Ooh. Toy Story Mania. Love it. So much fun. Another one that, like, if I'm having to help out my kids, try to shoot, I'm not scoring any points, but so much fun. And it's my mom hates that ride. She wants to be accurate, so she takes her time so that she doesn't miss. And then she gets really mad at the end that she loses to everybody else in the car because her accuracy was like 70%, but she only hit like 4 things, while the rest of us have 25% accuracy, but we hit a whole bunch of stuff because we just, we're thrown all over the place. So it's lots of fun for lots of reasons.
Including a chiropractor's warning because you're going to blow your elbow out.
That too.
We've gotten some re-rides on that ride.
Yeah.
We went over on date night because Jen and I compete, and the cast, like they get a kick out of us, right? We're over there quite often. So a few of the cast members have gotten to know and see us there. And when they see us, they'll be like, "Who won? You want to go again?" And we're always like, "Yeah." And then Tegan and I had that opportunity too a couple times. And I remember once we went 4 times in a row, and Tegan and I looked at each other on the 4th time and we're like, we're both shooting lefty. That's it. We're not doing this again. So, that's a great ride. I love that ride. Chuck, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to go for probably the King and the immersive experience, because Rise of the Resistance really is just incredibly immersive. When everything is operational, we know Rise does have a tendency to have some issues, but Rise of the Resistance, I mean, it is so well thought out. It is the epitome of great storytelling. Rivals, does not supersede, but rivals the storytelling that you have over at Radiator Springs over in California Adventure.
All right. Hawk, what are you riding?
Tower of Terror. I am
With the classic.
Jen's favorite ride, and I have fallen in love with it as a result of it being her favorite. No joke, but that, especially since they redid the ride and updated the sequencing, the random sequencing, the way it's done, the ride is so much better. It's smoother, in my opinion, than it was. It is just an absolute blast. We try to gamble whether it's going to go up or down when we get into the drop. We're like, what do you say, up or down? And now I try to do things in the video like get my hat on and off 3 times. In that split second you're up there. And I've got it a couple times. It's just fun. It's just a great ride. Listening to the kids and the people that ride it for the first time, and the screams and just the joy and the laughter. I just love that ride. That is my go-to at Hollywood Studios.
All right, Matt, wrap us up.
Terrified and screaming.
Really. All right, Matt, wrap us up.
All right, I'm kind of joining you, Chuck, and I'm going over to Smuggler's Run. That ride is, I laughed through that ride. It's so fun, especially, depending on what, job you get. I'm usually, I've been a gunner most of the time, so you're just sitting there and just cracking up with anybody. You can make random people laugh on that ride. My daughter loves sitting up front and being a pilot. No idea what she's doing, but she's having a blast trying to control this large spaceship, and it's just.
Yeah, I'm sure Chewie gets rather mad.
Remember, Matt, next time you go, if you haven't done it, you have to ask the cast member for Chewie mode.
Chewie mode, yep.
Chewie mode.
Okay.
Yep. Chewbacca mode. It is the funniest experience. It is a blast. If you go and want something a little different, you've done Smugglers a few times, ask the cast member to help you get Chewie mode, and it is awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Can't recommend it enough.
So Tom has to agree. He says that Rise of the Resistance has to be Rise of the Resistance, then Mickey's Runaway Railway. And then, wait a minute now. Breaking news, folks. Tom says Hawk is right. I'm sure there's a technical glitch going on in the chat somewhere. He says he has to ride Tower of Terror 2 to 3 times every trip. But Chris, on the other hand, says, I only did Tower of Terror twice, and only because I had someone to ride with, or maybe Hawk was actually holding him down, I don't know. Whenever I go back in another year or two, I'll try to muster up the courage to ride solo at least once. Chris, I think Hawk will take you up on that offer anytime.
Yeah, no, Chris knows. We've spent some time at studios. Chris actually lives up in the middle of the country and came down and actually stayed with us for a couple of days during one of his visits down here. So we really enjoy Chris. Chris is like family to us. So I appreciate you, one, for watching and joining us tonight.
Absolutely. All right, Matt, I think we got time for one more topic. Oh, whoa, Tom out, though. Tom says he almost got divorced over Tower of Terror.
Well, we still have Animal Kingdom, by the way.
Oh, we got Animal Kingdom to do. That's right. Sorry, we do have Animal Kingdom to do.
Well, if I'm going first here, I'm taking my animals. Give me the safari all day long. That thing changes every time you ride it. And if I'm gonna sit still for 13 minutes because there's a rhino in front of me, I'm good. Count me up for that one to get stuck on that one.
All right, Chuck, where are you going?
Well, do I be nice to Hawk or do I not be nice to Hawk? That's the challenge. To be or not to be. Well, I will leave Flight of Passage for Hawk because I know that's where Hawk
I'm
is.
not, that's not my choice.
Oh, well, then I will take Flight of Passage because there we go. I mean, Flight of Passage is one of those that's a love-hate relationship for me because depending on the scenes and how the air is moving, I can get a little nauseated on it. You know, you get a little just woo, and sometimes I have to kind of cheat and look to the side and kind of reorient my vision. But it is a technological marvel. How they pull this off is unreal. Tom says, the only ride he does at Animal Kingdom is ever. It's Then He Leaves, but of course it's a roller coaster. So Tom's favorite ride is the tram over at Animal Kingdom. So, but yeah, I'm going to say Flight of Passage.
All right. I'm not, and I wasn't going to either. So you weren't stealing that from me. I do love Flight of Passage, but I'm going to go nostalgic, and it's nearing its end, and I have to go with Dinosaur. I really do. And Matt, did I just steal your thunder?
Yeah, I was hoping you were going Navi River.
Yeah.
Hawk's favorite attraction, Navi River
Wait a
Journey.
second. If we have an NFL draft, do you think Navi River's a cheerleader on the sidelines of the Cincinnati?
Well, no, we do have it. No, so congratulations to Mr. Irrelevant, Navi River Journey. That's right.
Oh my goodness! Talk about. They didn't even make the draft. The Navi River can't even be mentioned. It's like the name that cannot be said. I agree. Flight of Passage is a technological marvel, but I think for nostalgia purposes, and had Splash still been in existence at Magic Kingdom, I would have said that. I think there's memories that are associated with certain rides, and we had a great experience at Animal Kingdom with the cast and the folks at the dinosaur ride. Learned a lot about it, and when you start to learn some of the background and you get to know some of the people that work there, and again, you develop these connections to certain rides, and it's one of the beauties of Disney. I think that is, whether it be your small children connect to a certain ride over something, it makes it special for you. So having those memories of my daughter with Dinosaur and knowing that Dinosaur is coming to an end, and much like Splash Mountain for us, it's just an iconic memory for me. So it always holds a special place. So getting to do Dinosaur will always be something I treasure for as long as we're allowed to. They've extended it into 2026. We don't know when it'll officially shut down, but
yeah, I'll have to see.
We'll continue to enjoy riding it for now.
All right, so Matt, Animal Kingdom.
All right, so if Dinosaur's off the list, then
Doesn't have
Well,
to be.
you can still use it.
Yeah,
I'm actually
doesn't have
gonna
to be
go
off the list.
Something we were going to go kind of the nostalgia route, and I'm going with the Cali River Rapids. Our first trip down, my brother and I rode it 7 times in a row on Thanksgiving Day because there was no line, nobody was riding it, so it was maybe like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And literally, it was just like, you want to stay on? Yep, let's go for another run. So,
and you didn't have a stitch of dry clothes.
no, we did not. But that's when we decided, hey, we're gonna go back to the resort after this. So that it was kind of perfect timing. It was like,
Was it chilly? Was it like
a little chilly? It was a little overcast that day.
Because I'm like, you're saying Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say Thanksgiving. It gets a little cool.
It was
Yeah.
a little chilly. It was a little overcast. But we're just like, you know what? There's nobody here, and we like the ride, so.
That's the name.
Nobody does hypothermia better than Disney.
New England in you right there. That's the New England.
I mean,
It's 40 in Florida. That's tropical weather in Boston.
I will say I do not ride. I don't like water rides in general, but my husband and I rode it on our honeymoon. It was in June, so it was incredibly hot outside. And there were adults filling every seat, and then a little girl, she's probably about 3 or 4 years old, with her grandparents. And we went down the hill, and a huge huge spray of water came up and just dropped right on top of her. And every adult on that ride froze because, I mean, she just instantly drenched head to toe. She's, toddler, you're never sure how they're going to deal with this. And everybody froze for like 2 seconds, and she burst out laughing. And all of us started laughing with her. And just, it's one of those things, I will never forget it. I will never forget that moment because we were all terrified.
Yeah, you were waiting for the meltdown.
Yes. And no, she thought it was the best thing that had happened to her on that entire vacation. And so, whew. Big sigh of relief for the adults. We got to
That's
ride the rest
right.
of the ride. It was great. I will never forget that ever.
All right, so Matt, if we do our number one draft pick for this round, can we include all rides for our number one draft pick?
No, I think you got to go with what you
Or
got.
we have to-
What you picked? What
You got to
picked?
go with the
we
four
have
you
to-
picked.
Okay, so
Yep.
out of no roller coasters, we
No,
have
you got to go with the four you
number
picked.
one
No.
overall pick.
Yep.
All right, Megan, what you got? What's your number one
Haunted
draft
Mansion.
pick?
Haunted Mansion, easy.
Okay, HM.
All right, Chuck. What do you got?
I think it's gonna be Soren. Yeah, it'll be Soren.
All right, Hawk. I know we kind of stole, your thrill rides, but
I gotta go with Tower of Terror. I got him. It's Jen's go-to. We go to Hollywood Studios almost every week. That's our date night place. We love it there, and we have amazing memories there. So we have a blast. I gotta go with Tower.
And Tom agrees, Haunted Mansion.
yeah, I'm going with the Jungle Cruise. That's my number one out of all those rides.
Going classic.
That is a
So,
punny choice.
It is.
I will
And,
say
you know,
the
the-
Jungle Cruise cast members are some of my favorite because
Yeah.
if you can do hours a day doing without sounding like you absolutely hate your job. I mean, I have a deep appreciation for all the cast members, but Jungle Cruise, I mean, that's a lot for those.
Well, and even though you say that, you can pull off the "I hate my job" kind of skit if you go, and you can just do it over the top and just kind of like, okay, I'm going to be really funny and be the worst skipper ever, kind of thing like that, and it becomes even funnier at some points, because I'm here again and again and again.
You're still willing to take that on and actually, because even
Yeah.
that requires effort. It's
We have friends that do it, and
I have too, yeah.
Has admired their ability to not just do what they're taught, but to improv in addition to. And there are some very talented people that
they're
that-
definitely
the
they're
boat
definitely part of
captains.
the performance cast there.
Yeah.
You got your actual, the people who are in the parades and the dancers on stage and stuff, but those Jungle Cruise 100% part of that
As
performance.
we would say in New England, there are some dang good skippers.
Yep. So I'll tell you what, this has been an absolutely awesome game night. We're starting to wrap up on our time here. Matt actually prepared several more, so I tell you what, we're going to put those on hold. We're going to continue this topic for a future game night because we've got a few more drafts and teams that we still have to draft for. But you know what? That'll be for the Mousekast draft round 2 coming to a game night sometime in the future. I want to say a huge thank you to Matt, our commissioner, as it were, for tonight's draft. Well done, Matt. This was a lot of fun. Huge thank you to Tom for being back. Hey, Chris, welcome to Mousekast. Love to have you here. We are live every Tuesday night at 8:30, so come and join us and be part of the conversation. Also, huge thanks, of course, to Hawk and to Megan for being with us. And again, a thank you to you. If you're watching us after the fact, you're watching us on playback or listening to us on the podcast version, chat out in our Facebook page, Mousekast 2025. You can find us there on Facebook, and put in a comment on the show page on the episode post for this particular episode 70, and let us know what you think. What would you draft for your snacks in each of the parks, for your attraction in each of the parks as well? And so again, you can find us here on Facebook. You can also find us over on YouTube. Just search Mousekast on YouTube. You're listening to Mousekast. This is the podcast where the mind meets the magic. Hey, I want to remind you that coming up next week, we haven't forgotten about all the amazing Star Wars news that came out of Star Wars Celebration a couple of weeks ago. We're going to talk all about it next week. And then a few weeks from now, we're going to be talking Epic Universe. We're going to have some folks that will have been there by then and can share some of their initial thoughts as we see previews for Epic Universe. Lots to talk about coming up in future episodes of Mousekast. So be sure to tune in to the podcast where the mind meets the magic. And so until next time, we'll see you.
Thanks for joining the Mousecast podcast. Our favorite show gets it right.
It's the last Tuesday of the month. Thanks for playing along with game night. This is where the mind meets the magic. We dive a little deeper every time. Theme parks, cruise ships, and travel. If you don't listen, maybe now it's time. Game night is the last